Okay. That was a good win for our team. I was glad that we were able to get that one under our belt. I thought that they had a good game plan. They took some chances, went for some fourth downs and two-point conversion and such. With our team, the thing that I wasn't pleased with, we had too many penalties. We've got to eliminate penalties. They were in a defense that was pretty much stop run, and in looking back at the end, we've thrown the ball down the field a lot more and just chunk it down the field with the style of defense that we were seeing. I saw where we averaged almost 5 yards a rush, which is good. Obviously, we threw for a lot of yards. We still missed about 6 passes. I thought that there were 6 just rough offhand passes that we should have hit that would have kept us on the chains early. And then obviously we had a couple big plays called back with penalties, and so we need to be more effective passing on first down when we have guys open. We got to hit those throws, and we got to minimize our penalties. I thought the defense was excellent, continued to make plays, and we tackled better in this game. I thought we improved in that area. We've got a lot of work ahead of us. We've got to minimize some of those mistakes. I wasn't happy with our 2 block PATs. Without watching tape, I thought we had low kicks on both of those. And we have to do a much better job of converting PATs. We got a lot of work ahead of us. Looking forward to the next game, but certainly glad we got this win.
Let's talk about Mason Rudolph's play tonight. Obviously, a pretty good night for him.
It was good. Could have been much better. I thought he missed at least 5 throws that he normally hits, particularly in the boundary. But he did come back and hit a lot of deep throws. He's still young. He's playing in his 4th, 5th game, whatever that was. And so he's making some mistakes, but he certainly needs to be better. But he did hit some key throws.
Did you see a greater improvement in him in the second half after he might have missed some in the first?
Yes. He missed, you guys would know, at least 4 throws in the first half on first down. And we would have been in 2nd and 3, and you end up in 2nd and 10, and you get behind the chains. And the way they were forcing the pass, they had everybody down in the box. There was times the free safety was down in the box and 7 yards deep is 3rd and 15. And that was the game plan, I'm guessing, without speaking for him, the game plan coming into the game. And so when that happens, you had to be able to throw the ball. Difficult to run the ball in those type of looks.
Coach, it was the middle of the 3rd quarter before their team made an offensive play from in OSU territory. Can you talk a little bit about your defense today?
Sure. Yeah, I thought they were really good. And especially early in the game when offensively we weren't converting because of some of those throws, and they continued to make plays. And they're improving. We had some offsides penalties we need to be better at, but overall I thought they were really, really good. One time when 3rd and long we got caught in coverage and hooked a guy's face mask. I wasn't particularly happy about that. But overall I thought the plan was good. The players tackled better. The execution was good.
It seems like when Chris Carson gets a little bit of room, he can be pretty dangerous, but at the same time maybe the room isn't there. What have you seen out of him, but at the same time what have you seen out of your run blocking?
Well, from the first game and this game, I'm encouraged by what I see once he gets out there. But what you're saying is right. He's not getting out there enough. And we have to improve. We have to become better run blockers. And as I'd said earlier, that they had everybody down in there, and I'm guessing their plan was we're not going to let them run. But I agree with you. Once he's gotten outside, he's been aggressive, and he's made some plays running the ball.
Where would you say this team is right now compared to where you want it to be?
Well, we got a long ways to go in just cleaning up penalties. We have to become better run blockers. And, as I'd mentioned, when Mason has those easy throws, he missed 4 in the first game, and I'm going to guess he missed 6 in this game. He's got to hit those throws. He played good, but in order for us to win at a high level, he's going to have to cut those in half. You're going to miss some throws, especially being a young player. But we got to get him to cut those in half and eliminate our penalties and make me feel a lot better.
I like that. How do you go about kind of managing his ups and downs and making sure he doesn't get frustrated when he is missing throws and that kind of stuff?
His mental approach is good. He does a good job about not getting frustrated, and he thinks and listens, and we make corrections. So I'm pleased with that part, the maturity that he brings to the table at this point. But we just have to keep repping his throws, and I think he gets a little excited at times, to be honest with you, because his throws are high, and I think he gets a little excited at times. He's still young and sees guys open and he gets excited.
Mike, in improving that run blocking you talked about, especially on the interior, I mean, is it just a matter of those young guys getting more experience? I mean, have you considered making a few switches or changes to see what works better, or where does that stand?
Not really. What they were doing is running their linebackers, just running them through the gaps. And so what that means is misdirection passing game like we went to, and then throwing the ball down the field. And we have to improve. I'm not pleased with the way we're blocking right now, but in the integral part of football, when there's a run play and the linebacker just runs through a gap, obviously your play pass and your nakeds and the things that we did on nakeds, when you look back, and it's easy to do that, to second guess play calls, but you would run 10 nakeds, play action, and come back out the backside where guys are running wide open. And that would be the answer to what they were doing. But we need to improve in the running game, and we need to become better run blockers.
Mike, you talk about areas of improvement and things like Mason not missing those throws that he needs to make, those sorts of things. It seems like those are areas that can be improved. Like it's not something like you're just going to beat your head against the wall. Is that how you feel?
Yes, and when you have guys open like that, the way they were playing, their corners are up and they're turning and running out of there. Those are fairly easy throws. I say that. None of them are easy, but it should be a fairly high percentage throw. So through reps, we can improve that. And without watching the tape, I have a pretty good idea what was happening with some of the run blocks, as we had talked about with the linebackers. Those guys are just flying through those gaps. There's ways that we can correct that. And when we're combination blocking, we got to get our heads up, and we got to see those guys coming. We got to get off on them quicker, and then it forces you into play action pass.
Mike, on those block PATs, was it a trajectory issue? Was it a blocking issue? Could you tell from your
Low kicks. Both of them were low kicks. That's me standing there watching without seeing the tape. I think both kicks were low, and that's something that we have to get fixed. I don't know that we've ever had 2 block PATs in a game since I've been here, and I'm not very happy with that at all. That's not a hard play, so we have to clean that up. We can't win games moving forward by giving away that many free points. And we had our guys coached up on the 2-point conversion, and we had a mental error. We had that play coached up, and we had a mental error. So obviously we need to rep it more and make sure that we don't have that error. But we were ready for that, and we've repped PATs. I don't know how many times, but we're not doing it enough because he's getting them blocked, and he's getting them blocked because the trajectory of the kicks are too low.
Kleski had a couple close calls on a couple punt returns today, not calling for the fair catch. Is that something you've talked with him about? Is that just him being a freshman and wanting to make a play, or how do you do that?
Both. Good punt returners, as they develop in their careers, you want them to be aggressive. So you have to be a little hesitant in saying, we want you to fair catch everything that's close. He has to have a feel for that. He took a big hit by not fair catching that, in the first game and then this game. And then the guy ran right by him on the one that he dropped, ran right by him, and that's why he dropped it. So he has to learn on the run, but we want him to be aggressive, and we want him to go after those balls and try to get returns.
Mike, comparing the season opener and tonight, just from the your naked eyes perspective, since you haven't had a chance to look at the film tonight, what ways did you feel like your team improved tonight from the season opener?
I thought we tackled better in space than we did in the first game. Obviously, we still have ways to go there. We were more effective throwing the ball down the field than we were in the first game. Mentioned the not as accurate on the shorter throws like we were in the first game. So in those areas, we've improved, but we've got work to do in the kicking game. I should say in the actual kicking part of the kicking game. Our coverage units were good. We got pinned in there on one return. Our return game was good. We didn't really have an opportunity on punts because of the way it happened, but we were 1 out of 2 on kick returns for having good returns. So we just need to look and see where we're at and try to get a little bit better each week.
Mike, I know obviously playing a lower level opponent, but to see guys like Ogba, Jacobs, Taylor playing with some pretty serious focus out there defensively, I think they held them to under 150 yards or something like that. Defensively, where do you assess these guys at this point?
Well, I thought the plan was good, and I thought they played hard and we tackled well. And physically, we were better than them, and so that's the way they should perform. The flip side of it is, we were talking about on offense, that we made those mistakes on easy plays that we shouldn't have when we play a team that overall, with their roster and our roster, we're more talented than they are.
Mike, when you referred to Mason's too excited, can you attribute that to his first home game? Has it been a recurring thing? Is it getting better as each game goes along? How would you?
Oh, I don't think it has anything to do with playing home or away. I just think he's a young player, and there was times that those guys were, in our terms, wide open, and I think he gets excited and tries to get the ball out there too fast instead of just playing the game, staying in the flow of the game.
Anything else, Coach?
Good.
Defensively, you don't get any takeaways, but when you go 2 of 15, UCA does on third down, is that just as good as forcing turnovers?
Well, they played very well tonight, like we expected them to, and we think they should have. But we still need to find a way to get takeaways. There weren't as many balls put up in the air as what we would have thought. They only attempted 25 passes, and they hit just over 50% on that. But we would like to be able to tackle, be in position, strip the ball out, and knock it away.
Before we go, you talked a little bit about JW coming in for a few plays, completed 2 passes. How did you feel about him tonight?
I thought he played pretty well. We were able to do some play action with him. He was able to make a run. We missed a block on the perimeter, or he should have scored on the ball. He kept going to the west to our sideline. But he's always in position. And when he came in, we were somewhat limited with what we were going to do. We weren't going to throw the ball down the field, being that far ahead. But he's done a good job for us, and we're certainly glad that we have him on our team.
Good. All right, thanks.